Hey all, it's Rightplan here from Novagamer. Today we are doing the Mighty Quest for Epic Loot. The last time we did this, it was back in the closed beta. This is the open beta now, so that we decided to make another video to see the changes between open and closed beta. First thing you'll notice is in the open beta, you have a little pet. Look at him. Look at him. So that's pretty cool. I'll show you a close-up of him here in just a sec. So that's what he looks like. Like a little chicken with a ladle as a hat. He doesn't really do much. He's supposed to collect stuff, but my guy is lazy. He doesn't collect much stuff. You can see they made the list of how many you won, how many you lost better. It's kind of in this open big screen. It's kind of nice now. I've been learning the new ways of fighting, so you can see I've won quite a few and I've lost quite a few, so I'm kind of getting even. Compared to when I first started and it was tons of losses before I got my first win right there. But then I got a whole bunch of wins, a bunch of losses because I leveled my tower wasn't good enough again, and then got a couple more wins, and then I'm back to slowly getting into a winning streak back up here again. But I just leveled again, so my tower needs upgrading, my castle needs upgrading again. But anyways, so let's get into some of the differences. You can attack somebody's castle, but you won't get anything for it. It's a practice, so you might get these right here, 15 and 15, but it's really worthless. It's good if you want to test somebody's castle and not take penalties for it. One sec here. I'll go to the friends list is a lot easier to access, which is really, really nice. They've also added in these promoted leagues, and what the leagues do... What the leagues do is when you're in the league, so I'm slightly out of it because you need 400 and I'm 398. So for this league, you need 400, and when you do it, you get bonus loot after you do every kill with the leagues. And of course, you can see your ranking. So right now, I would be... Oh, where is my ranking? 398. So these guys are all 719, all that stuff. So I'm way up there, like way behind. Yeah, see, it's gonna take a while to get to where I'm to, but you can see your friends and where they are. You can see by country, so I'm number 244 in Canada, which is pretty good, actually. And worldwide, I am 4,338. So it's kind of cool. You can kind of see a whole bunch of those different zones now, and you're ranking in them. So that's a nice improvement. One thing that took me a lot of getting used to is the defense side of things. If you haven't remembered what the closed beta fighting was like, you might want to go back and look at our previous videos. We had some with fighting and some with defense, so there's been a couple changes. So with this one, traps like this are being set up more often, so I'll zoom right in here so you can see. I'll get around that in a sec. So as you can see, there's hardly any minions in my castle. That's the big thing you'll notice. I'll start with that. So what they've changed from the closed beta to the open since the last time you saw us making videos. Oh yeah, I lost again. I got tons of stuff, so everybody wants to get it now. So if you look at it, you're kind of setting up a huge, massive fight in your boss area now. If you take the amount of minions that you have and you start putting them randomly around your castle, they're going to be very easy to kill. They kind of reduce the damage that minions do, but they made it so you can put a whole crap ton. The way you set them up is even different now. So, for instance, if I want this guy, the blue circle is his aggro zone, and the second circle... Alright, just a second. I hate when that pops up automatically. What's one that doesn't have it? Here we go, bad dog. So, one that doesn't have it is the second circle here is movable, as you can see. So what this does is that when this dog gets aggroed, it will also aggro all these guys as well. I can put in that circle. Now my castle's not validated because I moved that. Oh well, I need to update some stuff in anyways, because as you can see I'm losing a lot. So once this dog gets attacked, all these things in that circle get aggroed. What it also does is make it so anything in this circle that gets attacked, the dog will get aggroed. So what you want to do is, this is one thing that a lot of people aren't doing. I've noticed when I'm fighting, because I can go in and like pull one monster and kind of run off. Pull one monster and kind of run off, which kind of helps. But a lot of people aren't going to each individual monster like this and making sure that their aggro circle that they help pull with them is moved onto minions, because when you first place it, like this guy, he's right now only going to target these 3. So what you want to do is hold down Alt and move them over as many as you can, so that you'll aggro all of them as well. And you want to make sure you do that with all your minions. So as you can see, all my minions have that done. Except for that one that I left like that to show you, but the rest of them, as you can see, are all aggroing a huge group of them whenever they get attacked. The way that works is that no matter who the person attacks, they're going to pull a big group with it. And if you set it up just right, you can pull this whole group in one go. So that's what really comes down to, is making sure that you get that all set up, and you might want to run your own dungeon a couple times to make sure. Second thing that people are doing a lot is you need these pads now to put down traps. Before you could just put down as many traps as you wanted, as long as they could fit in your castle. But what happened was people were complaining that, hey, I can't put 2 traps side by side, traps are too spaced apart, it's not difficult. So what they did was they allowed you to put traps as close together as you want, but in turn they use your defense rating. So instead of just your minions use your defense rating, your traps do now too. And on top of that, you also need to put down these power supply tips. So what they do is they will power, like you can see this one has a beam coming to it, powering this gelatinous goo. They have to power something for it to work. If I was to take this away, like so, you can see now there's a no battery power, so it has no battery to run that. So it won't work unless it has power, and your pad can only hold up to 12 traps, but some traps like this one, for instance, use 3 power cells. So you got to use them properly. That's why I have a whole 4 pads here, because I got these 4 cannons and a whole bunch of these bomb traps. So what this will do, the reason I put the gelatinous goo here, is it makes it difficult for them to go through the gelatinous goo, touch this pad, make the springboard trap go off, because these are all springboard traps I've set up. So it's hard to go in and just lightly tap that to make it go off, so you can get one step ahead and dash through here. So what will happen is people will step on that first one trying to get through, they'll get flung all the way up here, and they'll land in the dead center of all these, and they'll get blown to smithereens. And if they don't kill them, these 4 cannons will launch on the spot that you fell on or unconscious in. So you can still get past this. Every trap in this game has a way of getting past it. It's just more and more difficult. So part of the fun now is trying to design some kind of trap that even you yourself find out how to get past. Which brings up my next point that is majorly different. If you look up here, that validation thing, when I move stuff, this now has a point on it saying that this is not validated. So what that means is you actually have to click this button and run your dungeon right up until the end to validate it. And what happens is that you're timed on how fast you do that, and everybody else who's attacking your castle has to beat your castle in the same amount of time that you beat it, or less, if they want to get 3 stars. If they can't do it, they can only be guaranteed 2 stars. Then they have to kill every single one of your resource mines to be able to get a 2nd star. So if they don't kill all your resource mines before they go through your treasure room, then they lose another star. And then the 3rd star is whether or not they survive. So if they die even once, they lose all 3 stars. So you're guaranteed 1 star if you can make it through the dungeon and not die. If you die at all, it's game over. So the key is that you want to make somebody die. Well, that's what these big old traps here are for. So what we'll do is we'll go through a validation here so you can see how it's changed. Skill-wise, not much has changed. At least with the archer, because that's what I use. So you can see here, I'm still using the roll, the headshot, the volley, and my potions. You definitely want the roll with all the traps people are putting down now. So the goal to running your own dungeon is you want to get through it as fast as possible, so that when people are attacking your dungeon, it's going to be much harder for them to be able to get that 3-star bonus, and they'll only get 2. You also want to kind of hide your resources throughout so that people will have to go looking for them. That makes them take up time. So as you can see, I know how to sneak past that, but if I didn't, I would have been dead, as you saw. So I put some of those dogs in there. They increase the attack of everything that the dogs are around. So I want to take those guys there. I know how I put my defenses in, so I know what I want to kill first. Now, while you're running your own dungeon, you have 4 potions, and that's not your own potions. That's just like potions that they give you to test your castle. And there you have it. So if you die, your validation fails, and you can no longer make it. Basically, nobody will see your upgrades to it until you actually do it again. So I'll show you really quick what happens with that trap I made. I just improved my minions, so obviously they're working. But I'll show you that trap. This is why this trap's really good. I'll just skip these resources because I'll purposely go die. So if they try to go through and they try to step on this, oh no, oh crap. And that's what happens. Lots of booms. So escape, cancel, leave. I'll validate that later because I still want to make some more changes to it. But you can see how this traps works. Now I'll go and I'll do an actual castle that somebody else has, so you can see random castles that they made. For instance, we can do a revenge on this guy that killed me. What's his castle? So his is 16. I don't really get much for killing his castle though. I don't really want to do it. So what I do is, if you look at the previous videos, I still attack people's castles the same way I used to. So you want to make sure you have 4 potions, and you're pretty much going to go through and look for ones that don't have a shield on them so that you can get this loot here, and that give you the most loot with no shield. This one will be easier. It's level 15, I'm level 16. I'll get 3,000 and I'll get 900, almost 1,000 of that. So that's, and 11 crowns. So that's going to help me out big time. I'm going to upgrade my minion summoning. Well, my minion summoning is upgraded. I'm going to upgrade my wanted to upgrade my minions next. So here you can see these are traps. You can dodge those, and he puts the bombs just like I did. But I'm pretty good at dodging those now. So you always want to try to angle your camera to look ahead to see if there's any mines ahead of you, because it saves time if you can see them up ahead and not have to go down a path. So for instance, I can see one up here, so it's worth going up here. Now, I normally check just one of those like that, and it only gave me 1 life force, so I just assume that all of them are going to give me 1 life force, so I don't bother after that. There we go, made it through another one. Oh, I want that robe. So here you go, and here's their big hoo-ha at the end. So I always try to do this, because you can take half of them, see? People mess it up. Every time. So now instead of getting the huge amount all at once like you saw with my castle when I tried to validate it, instead I'm only going to do it these small little bits at a time.
Ready when you are, big guy.
And here you go, here's the final castle. As always, I want to try to get in and do these healers. Then next is these shield guys.
Give me a second, would you? Willie's right.
And the dragon. And now it's just gonna have to last little bits around.
You're okay in my book.
And then you want to make sure you get that last star. If you don't get that star, you haven't gotten all the mines. And you can see I do it in less time than he did, so I'll get all 3 stars.
It's been a pleasure. Sucks to be.
And you can still rate them to get extra gold. And you get your crowns and your XP after you're done. So a lot hasn't changed in the game, so this is going to be a quicker video, but you'll see how that can actually help if you don't know how to get past that. It can be very dangerous. And then this is kind of my setup right now. I don't know how many people want to have that setup, but it's actually very difficult to kill. I'm going to have to go back and look at these ones and find out how they're getting past it, but he's level 17 for instance. But as you can see, none of them got 3 stars because none of them could do it as fast as me. But yeah, they have been using tons of potions on it every single time, and this guy's level 17 and still had to use a potion. And I think that's everything that's really changed in this game. The validation is a big, huge new thing, and the timing, because that way if you run your dungeon faster than anybody else can run it, then you can pretty much guarantee they'll never get 3 stars. So that's a huge thing you want to try to do on your dungeon now. As well, you need to attack every single mine and every single minion that you have in your castle. For everyone that you don't attack, it won't be in your castle when other people try to attack it. So you want to make sure that when you go through it, you get every single thing that you've placed, you have to have access to, or else you're going to make it so nobody else has to have access to it. But that is pretty much the big changes. We'll wait until the end game and see if there's any major new minions or anything else that they've added, but so far all the bosses and stuff from the closed beta are still exactly the same. They've added some extra bonus skills to them or made some of their skills a little more damaging, but that's pretty much it. So that's it from here from Novagamer. If you guys want to see any more videos on this, then let us know below. Let us know what you think of the changes that the game's had so far. Comment below on anything you don't like about the new changes, and subscribe above to see our next video. And as always, happy gaming.